My first brief upload this morning is just with regard to an objective perspective with regard to the level of progress and development and what is success and what is high standard of professionalism and what is professional etiquette, what is good practice. So they say that basically repeating the same action and having a failed attempt is a sign of insanity or an insane behaviour. So my personal perspective on that would be that in the past 4 years, the circumstances that I've relayed and experienced and the conditions that have been caused and the lack of restitution, the lack of credibility, the lack of authenticity just brings into question how successful are the pillars of society when they're not being respected according to the ethos, ethics, moral compass, and the basic code of behaviour that is expected. So sometimes in a tightly knit community or in a collective or in any set of agents of society, there are sometimes some people that think that it's easy to defy and lie and evade and avoid and try to pull the wool over a person or people's eyes. Hoodwinking, they call it. So I'm just wondering when such tactics are applied, is it to the betterment or is it to the detriment? And I'm also querying as a professional the level of professional etiquette and the exploitation of agents of society, agencies of society, bodies of society that basically might misuse and abuse their positions to think they are gaining in a situation with an underhand tactic while they're thinking of gaining upper hand by unethical means. I think personally it's a sad sign of the times that when people can't correct their failings, wrongdoings, defects of character, and when they can't resolve successfully, maturely, responsibly, considerately, it highlights failings. And sometimes those failings get so drastically huge that a problem is out of control that could easily have been a little blip on the road rather than a mountain of a molehill situation. So the issue that I'm concerned about this morning is the lack of professional courtesy, etiquette, the disrespect to practices and procedures in many respects. They usually say that if it isn't broken, why fix it? So there have been things that haven't been broken, that have been damaged and that haven't been fixed. There has been no fixing process. There has not been any solving process, and this is 2021, and the issue of people disrespecting their positions and professions and their purposes with underhand tactics and not being mature or responsible or courteous or considerate doesn't represent a agency or a collective or a person's identity very successfully. So personally speaking, as a qualified professional, experiencing these kind of disrespectful occurrences of individuals thinking that hoodwinking circumstances being caused and that are resorting to underhand behaviours, slander, defamation, just wrongdoings, negligence, etc. It's not a good representation of anyone or anyone's role in such a circumstance. And it questions credibility, it questions integrity, and it questions reputation. So those disrespecting practices, procedures, that are resorting to underhand tactics highlights an old mentality that isn't appreciated, an old mentality that isn't respected, and it also highlights very serious wrongdoings that are to only be addressed and acknowledged and resolved in a courteous due process manner. So that's just my brief upload this afternoon, with regard to etiquette and professionalism, and just how intelligent are human beings when they don't resolve a conflict, when they exacerbate a conflict, when they don't have the courage to address the problems that they've caused, and when they repeat offences in many respects and in many pillars of society that are just not feasible at all to be practicing. So that's my first upload for this afternoon, and professional etiquette is highly important for everyone if we want to progress on the ladder of success.